Yo, what up, world? 502 King Paul. If you woke up today, it's a good day. It's a good day. I've said this before, but I'll say it again for the purpose of this video. A major part of me overcoming addiction in my life was realizing that the time that we have is very limited. It's very limited. And, you can't get back yesterday. You can't worry about tomorrow. All that we have is today, and that's what you have to focus on. Because if you focus on today, you'll realize that the opportunities that you have are truly unlimited, and you'll be more inclined to make the best out of each day. It's easy to get caught up in worrying about tomorrow and what the next week will look like or the next year in our lives will look like. But if you focus on today and do it one day at a time, I guarantee you will start to see a transformation in your life. For those of y'all who do not know and are new to this channel, my name is Paul Florence Jr. And for a good period of my life, a nice chunk of my life, I was addicted heavily to marijuana. I also went through time periods in my life where I was addicted to lean or promethazine mixed with codeine. Also had a battle with alcohol addiction as well. And I can say, man, one thing that truly helped me to overcome my addictions that I had in my life was understanding my whys. Now, I talked about this before in previous videos, understanding your whys. And I talked about the reasons why you want to stop whatever your addiction is in life. Maybe you want to make more money. It's financial reasons. Maybe you want to improve your relationships in life. Possibly you have goals that you want to get towards in life that have nothing to do with finances or relationships, but you see that your addiction is holding you back in some way, shape, or form. But I found that a key to life is introspective thinking, which is being able to look into yourself and figuring out why it is that you operate the way that you do in your life. Even more so important than the whys of why you want to stop is realizing the whys as they pertain to why it is that we're doing what it is that we're doing, why it is that we are partaking in drugs or alcohol or whatever your vice is in life, your addiction, because some people have sexual addiction, some people have other kinds of addictions, eating disorders and whatnot. So more important than why you want to stop doing it is understanding why you do it in the first place. And like I said, it takes a lot of introspective thinking. You have to really look into yourself and figure out why it is that you're doing these things. I found that most things in life typically come from two places. It comes from a head place, the way that you think, or a heart place, the way that you feel. And if you're going through an addiction or coming out of that addiction and trying to stay strong in your journey that you're going on in life, you have to clearly understand, what are you thinking? What are you feeling that's making you go this route in life? Because a lot of us say that we want to come out of addiction, that we're struggling, with addiction, excuse me. And we're not really taking a moment to realize, what are the thoughts that we are having? What's the thoughts that's leading you to your addiction? What thoughts, what insecurities do you have? What worries do you have? What fears do you have? What anxieties do you have? What are you thinking in your head that's leading you to go down this route? Because I realized with me smoking weed, I was trying to numb something in myself. And it's the same way with anyone else who has any addiction in life. You're trying to numb something in yourself. You're trying to numb the thoughts that's coming through your head. You're trying to blur them out, or the feelings that you have in your heart. You're trying to figure out how you can numb those feelings. I know a lot of people who've been led into addiction through heartache, broken relationships, whether it was a romantic relationship or a relationship with their parents or a relationship with someone else, a friend or something that really left them broken emotionally. And in order to cope with that emotional pain, they find a way to numb it. So for some people, like I said, this can be alcohol. This can be drugs. It can be sex. It can be food. It can be a multitude of different things. Because just about anything on this earth, if you don't do it in moderation or not at all, you can definitely become addicted to it. Now, for people who have an addictive personality such as myself, I would say the only way for you to completely overcome it is to not do it at all. I made a video here recently speaking on my relapse that I had, a brief relapse where I started back smoking weed after I stopped. And kind of what led me into that situation, what led me into that point. And it's because if you solely focus on why you don't want to do it, you're not fully addressing why it is that you do it. And that was the key mistake that I made on my road to recovery. I didn't take that moment to really think and to really reflect and to try to fix those places in my life where I was broken. Now, for all people, it will not be emotional. Sometimes it's our thoughts. What are the thoughts that come to mind? What are the anxieties? Some people, they worry about the what ifs and maybes in life. And in order to overcome that anxiety, they rely on these different things. They rely on the weed, they rely on the alcohol, they rely on the drugs, they rely on the sex, they rely on the food, whatever it is, something that they feel like they can control. So you can control how much weed you smoke. You can control how much you drink. You can control how much you have sex. You can control how much you eat. But what you can't control is the future, because you don't know what the future holds. You can't control what happens to you in life. You can't control the trespasses that come against you in life. Some people are trying to deal with the heartache. They're trying to deal with betrayal. They're trying to deal with the backstabbing in prior relationships. So they lean on their addiction to help numb that pain, to help numb out those thoughts that come through their head. But if you don't fully address those thoughts, if you don't fully address that pain, if you don't look inside of yourself and start to have more grace in your life, use more forgiveness in your life, have more mercy when dealing with people in your life, then you'll just fall right back into those patterns when something else comes up. That's why a lot of people, man, they can go clean for a while. Excuse me. They can go clean for a while and then turn around and something happens that they didn't expect to happen, and you fall right back into the addiction. Or you get right back into another relationship that mimicked your past relationships, and you fall right back into that addiction. And like I said, I'm not specifically speaking on weed in this video, but if you are trying to overcome that struggle in your life, then you have to realize, going back to my last video, what are your triggers? What is it? What are those thoughts? What are those feelings that come through your heart, that come through your mind and make you want to do this? Because most people, healthy-minded people, they know that what it is that they're doing is not good for them. They realize that if they smoke weed, what it can lead to. They realize if you drink, what it can lead to. They realize if you continue to be loose with your body sexually and you continue to try to numb your pain, your emotional pain through having sex, or your mental anxieties that you have by eating or not eating, which both are food disorders, food-related disorders, but they realize that these are unhealthy things. So you have to focus on that why. Next time that you go to pick up that blunt, to pick up whatever it is that you smoke out of, think to yourself for a moment. Just take a split, brief moment and ask yourself, why am I wanting to do this? Before you pick up that phone and make that phone call to go have sex with someone, think to yourself, why am I going to do this? And I can tell you from someone who battled for a very long time with my flesh when it came to sexual activity, that there's always more to it than just getting your rocks off, quote unquote. There's so much more to it. You're trying to fill a void in your life. You're trying to fill a void of love in your life. You're trying to fill this void of just being wanted and accepted in your life. Somebody wanting you or needing you. That's truly where it comes from. You know, a lot of times we try to look on surface level. And when you look at surface level, it will leave you confused and just as bad as the places you were in before. But when you look deeper into yourself and have that introspective thinking, you'll start to realize why it is that you do some of these things that you do. The best advice that I can give anyone who is battling with any form of addiction is to start looking within yourself. Start looking within yourself. Start figuring out why it is that you move the way that you do. Figure out why it is that you hang around the people that you hang around. Why it is that you want to smoke weed. Why it is that you want to drink. Why it is that you want to have sex. Whatever it is, right before you do it, just take a moment. And besides the flesh of it, look deeper into it. Because I truly believe, and I know that, again, everyone who watches this channel is not spiritual. But we all have spirits, whether you want to acknowledge that or not. We're not just flesh walking around. We're not just our skin and how we look. There's a soul inside of each and every one of us, and you have to realize, what is it that your soul is needing? Because one thing that drugs, alcohol, sex cannot fix is your soul. If you have a broken spirit, then no matter how many drugs you do, how many people you sleep with, it can't fix that. If anything, it's going to fragment that even more. There were experiences that I had when I was high. Experiences that I had when, you know, I was caught up in my sex addiction, to where I realized that this was just breaking me down even more. And I'm going to speak on some of that in a future video, but what I want to do here is just get you thinking, just plant that seed in your mind is, why am I doing this? Not just why I want to stop. Because for some people, they're successful in their careers. For some people, they're successful in their relationships. For some people, they have everything the way that they want it in their life, but they're not looking onto their soul and truly figuring out what it is inside of me that is making me want to do this. I have a 2-year-old son named Malachi. And a lot of times when people are around him, they say he's such an old man. He acts like an old man. He has such an old soul about him. Have you ever heard that term, an old soul? Again, I realize everyone who watches this channel is not religious or not spiritual to say, but there's scripture that says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Which lets us know that we were already here before we entered into the flesh. And my son, who is 2 years old, exhibits a lot of traits that you wouldn't expect from a 2-year-old, I would say that. A lot of things that he does when we go to church, when we're watching sermons at home, when we're praying, it's not that of a 2-year-old. It's of someone who's been here before. So you have to realize that you were here before you got to this planet. You are already in existence. Now, if you believe, you're one of those people who believe that when you die, that's it. I encourage you to do a bit more searching, and, you know, maybe the Bible isn't the way for you, but get more in tune spiritually and realize that you are way more than your flesh. You are way more than what we see. You know, a lot of people say, you know, well, he's handsome, she's beautiful. But beauty does not just run skin deep. Beauty is who you are on the inside. And a lot of times, man, we have to look inside of ourselves and figure out who it is that we truly are. And once you realize that, it becomes easier to battle the flesh. So I'm going to end this video here, and hopefully this video blesses you. Hopefully this video is inspiration, motivation for y'all. If there's anything y'all like about it, I ask that y'all just go down below, like the video. And this is not for my self-esteem. This is not for me to just say I got this many likes. It's for this video, the way that the algorithm works, to get out to more people, to help more people. So if you benefited from this video in any way, shape, or form, I ask that you just go down below, like the video, share the video, get it out with as many people as possible. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you take a moment, go and subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I want to make sure that I get these messages out to the people who need it and impact people's lives in a positive way, man. It's 502 King Paul. I love y'all. I pray that y'all have a blessed day, man. I truly do. I truly, truly do. Man, you got this. Stay strong. Stay strong. Y'all got this, man. If you are battling any kind of addiction, make sure that you stay strong. Not only in the physical, not only in the mental, not only emotionally, but stay strong spiritually. And when you build that up, everything else will manifest around you. But you have to make sure that you build yourself up spiritually and have that connection, man. 502 King Paul. I love y'all. I'm out.